Hi, everybody, and welcome to another installment of Ask a Witch. And this is one of the questions I get asked probably more than anything. And that is, when we're talking about manifesting and we're talking about spell work and we're talking about grounding and shielding and just about everything having to do with witchcraft, we keep having this topic of meditation come up where people will say, you got to meditate. We'll just meditate. We'll just go to higher self. Well, what does that mean and how do you do that? The thing is that, and I hate to just beat on this old dead horse, but meditation is an important part of doing effective spell work. And when you are blocked from that, you are blocked in your forward progression of growing as a practitioner. And there's no accident that when I'm doing cleansings on people, that if somebody's a healer or somebody's a major witch or somebody is really involved with the magic side of their life and they get cursed by somebody, the way that that curse will usually manifest is to block their crown chakra and their third eye chakra. So think about what that is. Crown chakra is how you connect to your divine power, whatever that might be, your external source of energy and magic. Your third eye is how you go inward, it's how you connect to your source of magic and energy, your personal energy, your personal wisdom. And to block those in a person who is a highly magical person takes away their access to what they do. And so that tends to manifest there. Now, people who aren't especially magical that get cursed, usually it's from the neck down that they're going to see the effects. But in a really magical person or an energy worker or a healer, they're almost always going to get hit third eye and crown because that is an important part of being a high level healer or practitioner. But the question becomes, what if I can't sit still long enough to meditate? What if I can't make my mind go blank? What if I can't make anything happen in terms of meditation? How am I ever going to progress? Well, I want to address that on a few levels for you. First of all, and most importantly, a lot of people are under a real misperception about what meditation is. And so we think that meditation is what we've heard about, where we're able to make the mind completely blank and just have the, tabula rasa, where everything's just totally clean and clear so that the higher self can imprint and come in and talk to us. Now, I'll be honest, that's an ultimate goal. That takes years and years of practice to get able to a place where we can just blank out. It doesn't happen easily. And it's not what has to happen in order for there to be good results from meditating. It's good when it does happen, and yay, you, if that happens for you. But I'm telling you, it took me years to do that, and I was still able to do wonderful magic. You're going to have good results from learning to do that, learning to get to that place, and you're going to have good results almost immediately. So the way that we do that is not to have the ambition or the goal of making our mind blank or our thoughts go away. That's not what it's about. That's sort of an outcropping. That's something that happens naturally as we get better and better at meditating. What we're doing when we meditate is something that's still hard for people, but is usually achievable if we really put our mind to it. And that is sit your ass down. Get rid of your distractions. Do it when the kids are asleep. Do it when nobody's going to bother you. And if you got people bothering you all the time, baby, you need some better boundaries. You need to be able to create boundaries where you say, I'm going to take 30 minutes and I need nobody to bug me. I'm entitled to this 30 minutes. I'm going to take it. And you shut off your phone. You don't do screen time for maybe an hour or so before that. You do other things out there in the world so that your brain isn't on screen reading phase, and you just or mode, and you just sit there during that 30 minutes that you carved out for yourself, and you just be still. That's the first part of it. Just be still. There's one of the most common sayings in magic is be still now, be still and know. And so you just settle down, just sit. We get so accustomed to having input all the time that we become addicted to it. and we get bored and antsy and weird when we're not getting stimulation of some kind, when people aren't talking to us or listening to us, when we're not doing something with our hands, when we're not taking in screen time and watching streaming videos or reading something on social media, scroll, 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 scroll. We get so addicted to that constant input that we're getting further and further away from the ability to just be still. That's interfering with our sleep processes, and it's interfering with our cognitive abilities. And the way you get that back is through, guess what, everybody? Meditating. So you take those minutes and you just sit. And it's going to be hard at first. You're going to have to retrain to be able to do this, but you just sit. And it's okay to think during that time. Again, we're not going for blank brain, but don't be problem solving. Just be still. And you're going to find that as you're still, usually with your eyes closed, burning your nice incense, playing some nice music, the first thing you want to do is just start to acclimate to your breathing. Just pay attention to your breathing. Nothing more serious than in and out. In, out. And then slow down your breathing a little bit so that it's just in and out. And do that circular breathing. Just kind of feel that breath moving through you. And really feel it. Really be in your moment. Don't be thinking about the past. Don't be thinking about the future. If those thoughts start to come in, just get back into your breathing. Just monitor that breathing. Feel the breathing. Feel your lungs expand. Feel the oxygen move through your body. Feel the carbon dioxide come out of your body. Feel your tissues and your cells open to that breath that comes in, and just be there and just really hyper focus on that breath and just let it move through you. And you're going to find that as you do this, your thoughts naturally slow down a little bit. And then once you get to that place where you're really into your breath, almost in a creepy, freaky way, you're just really feeling that breath, pay attention to the impulses that do come in, because we want to hear the images and see the images and get into the images that come in when, number one, you're hyperoxygenated, and number two, you're not thinking about or planning the future, and you're not worrying about the past. You're not thinking about what's happening in the other room with whoever else you live with. You're not wondering if somebody's calling you on the phone. You're just being still. And then pay attention to the ideas that come in. Kind of bookmark them a little bit. Follow them. Follow the bread trail that some thought chain links into another thought and another thought, and just see what happens. People, that's meditating. That's not just making stuff up. If you get ideas or in your mind or thoughts or pictures, follow it. See what's there for you. When you're done meditating, journal a little bit about what you saw so that you keep track of it. It doesn't have to make sense. You just be in that moment and be with it. And then you step away from it knowing you did your meditation. Again, we're not looking for total blank. We're just looking for stillness. And what the way that relates to your ability to do good spell work is, number one, you get really in tune with your organic self. You know what your breathing feels like. You know what your own thoughts feel like. So if you're really empathic and you're picking up on the energy of other people, you can tell right away because you're really familiar with what your energy feels like and what your thoughts feel like. And if you're feeling somebody else's thoughts or somebody else's energy, you can push that away and not be angry just because they're angry, not be uncomfortable or feel threatened just because they do. You can separate out your energy from theirs. So that's very helpful when you are moving through the world as a magical practitioner who's making things happen with their energy. You want to be in touch with the energy that you're using to make things happen. The other thing is focus. The more you do this, the more you follow your breath and your breathing, the more you pay attention to the thoughts and ideas and unsolicited data that comes in when you're doing this, the better you're able to follow the energy and, in fact, manipulate the energy to do what you want it to do. So you can get better in touch with how to work with your energy by knowing your energy. The more familiar you are with your energy, the easier it's going to be for you to pray. And I use the word pray in a multi-traditional way. I'm not just talking about Christianity. I'm talking about interfacing with your deity and connecting with your deity, communicating with your deity. You're going to be able to better do that if you're settled down and still. God can talk to us, or Goddess or Creator or whatever can talk to us when we're moving around and busy and distracted by mundane life. But I tell you what, it's a lot easier when you're still. Even in the Bible, it says if you want to pray, go to your prayer closet, spend time on your own. And it's the same thing. Just be still and know. Be still and understand. Be still and hear the voice of your divine power. And that lets you have a better connection with flow state and the better connection with the zone so that you can manifest in an easier way and a more direct way and a more powerful way. So again, the biggest drawback to people when people are saying, I can't meditate, I can't do it, is because they're expecting something different. They think there's going to be a movie playing in their head, or they think that they're just going to be totally blank. And that's not it. That's not what we're going for. So the next thing is they're expecting they need to do something different to manifest than what they actually have to do in order to meditate. You don't have to sit in lotus position. You don't even have to sit up. You can lie back and be comfortable if you want to. Just make sure you're not going to go to sleep. Meditating is an active experience. It's not a passive experience. And so when you meditate and you take that half hour, 20 minutes, whatever you carved out for yourself, in order to work on your meditation skills, a lot of times what's going to happen is you're so dang tired from all the things you're doing that you just go to sleep because your body's saying, okay, we don't have to think right now. We don't have to produce right now. So it's time to sleep. And you got to kind of get out of that. You have to be in an active meditative space so that you're not overly tired when you're doing it. That's why most people do it in the morning, because they just woke up instead of at night when they're really exhausted. So you want to make sure that you're staying focused, spending time with that breathing, noticing any thoughts that come into your mind, journaling about them afterwards. If you write them down during the meditation, you're probably going to break meditation, especially if you have trouble getting there anyway. So again, you don't have to see Disney movies or unicorns or anything unfolding in your brain when you're meditating. You don't have to have a total blank. You just have to be still. And if you take time after time after time to be still, 3, 4 times a week, every day if you can, but just often, you will start to get better and better at having that focus, and that will make you a better practitioner and will absolutely really laser focus your energy so that you can have better effects with your spell work and better effects with your connection to that flow state and getting into that place where things just seem to go well for you. So that's my speech on meditation and the expectations that people have regarding it. And I will die on this hill that the biggest problem with meditation is that people think it's going to be something it's not, and they're wanting immediate results, and they're not willing to spend the time of just sitting there trying to be still for weeks sometimes before they can actually get into something of a meditative state. So that's what I got to say. I hope it's helpful for you. You can always find me at crossroadsoccult.com if you have questions about this. But that's what I got about meditation. Y'all take care, and you know what? Meditate. Do it. Do it. It'll solve a lot of problems.